This year I've made the best work of my life. I forgot my mic. I sure hope this works. I'm mostly self-taught. I'm a mixed media dreamer who's just kind of happened to land in video lately.
This feels ridiculous. Oh man, I just blinded myself.
Humbly and fully embracing the grit involved.
While I do love the message, and then, what am I trying to say?
It's a big statement, but I hope that is taken with the preface that I just gave. It's definitely not bravado. You know, it's just something that I have those feelings about because of the way the work makes me feel. Like, if I died tomorrow and I had to tell God what I've been up to lately, I would definitely be able to say that at least as an artist, I fulfilled something in this life. Something that I really needed to do. That's how I feel about what I've been up to. I guess that's what I mean when I say the best work of my life. In fall of 2025, I filmed across the Pacific Northwest. I slept in my car. I chased fog. I walked with my dog through forests. I built sequences that took weeks. I learned software that made me avoid the project for like whole chunks at a time. I hung chimes from trees in the forest while my little dog looked on judgingly while I plucked the chimes with a long stick off of camera for effect. I sat at mosquito-infested creek banks and plucked away at a kalimba I knew nothing about playing. I spent nights shaping stories that were really hard to put to words, shaping something that made me feel alive. I don't know, were they expertly done? Hardly. But very honest and true to the vision I hold for the project itself. And I think that's what makes it feel like my best work. I crossed an ocean to keep doing it. I went on a road trip for a month in the Pacific Northwest, and it didn't feel like I was done. So here I am. And the first video is out. I think it has like 30 views right now, and the other has like maybe 18. And so it sort of feels like a dance recital in an empty room, you know? It's not like failure. I don't feel failure or like devastation, but I feel like I'm facing another barrier that I don't really know how to get over. It sort of reminds me of another barrier that I didn't know how to get over. I think to explain this, we have to go back in time a little bit. A year ago, I couldn't have done any of this. My body was not physically capable of this life that I am participating in now. There's like all this content out there right now on YouTube that's like, if you're over 40, you should start right now. Just start a YouTube channel. I love hearing that message. I just turned 43. I celebrated my 43rd birthday in Portugal by myself on this art journey that I'm taking you with me for. And I love that message because at 43, I barely recognize myself. I've been creating for a long time and trying to find ways with my mixed media love to connect with people about art. And it's harder now than it was before for a lot of reasons, but mainly because like I don't recognize myself anymore. It's very humbling to tell you honestly and vulnerably that I have no idea what I'm doing and I don't have a plan and I'm just, stitching it together. I feel like that's not the expectation of middle-aged moms with kids in university, which is where I find myself in life right now. But it's the truth. It's reality. I have no idea what I'm doing. This is the no plan plan. Because the planning plan was a pretty rough go for me. I think probably most people can relate to this. Like when you try something and you fail and you try again, and you want to just like walk away and stop failing, you know? And then sometimes in life, that's not an option, which for me is how it went with chronic illness. Like, briefly, I got hit first by a drunk driver in 2018. That was just a whole life-changing experience of being heavily injured and then developing fibromyalgia, and basically, slowly learning how to get my body and my brain and my nervous system to all work together to get me out of bed and back into life for about 2 years. And I got better, which was amazing. That's another story for another day, but it wasn't easy. It took a lot of work, and it was like a miracle by miracle situation. Moved from where I lived to a bigger city with more opportunities and job options, and I got a job and worked my way up the corporate ladder and was single momming it in the big expensive city, and reopened my business that I had to totally neglect when I got sick the first time. I was starting to really rebuild my clientele and my bookings. I was an event tarot reader at some pretty prestigious like Fortune 500 company events, which was not easy. It took me about a decade, more than a decade, to build that. And then, would you believe it, about 3.5 years into my rebuilding, I got hit again by another drunk driver. And in the middle of all of that momentum, I had to leave my job. I was stuck in bed again. My body stopped digesting food, started fainting all the time. I had to completely close my business and mourn the loss of that. And then I spent another 2 years watching my life completely dissolve around me and not having the option to just like, well, I tried and failed, so I'm just not going to do this anymore. It was more just like, you have to. Between friends and family and medical professionals, I was really blessed. I got every medical resource available to me. I had an amazing doctor who would hug me, when I would show up to her office crying with hopelessness. I was willing to try every single thing she threw at me. I did everything that she had to offer me and my team of doctors had to offer me. And little by little, I did get better. I'm not totally better. It's not like it was before, where I got like the full use of my body back. I'm still sick, but I'm not fainting. I am currently in Portugal by myself. I am nearing the end of my 2-month-long trip out here. That's something that's only the result of keeping going and doing one little thing at a time and taking suggestions and being honest and vulnerable. And I guess that's how I feel about sharing this work that I'm so proud of to an audience of 38 clicks. I don't feel hopeless and I don't feel like I failed, but I do feel like I have no idea what to do about the algorithm on YouTube as a 40 something who's been encouraged to just start a channel. So I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep asking for help and taking suggestions and being vulnerable, and one day at a time, and producing and recording and editing and posting, and just hope that the goal of connecting is one that I can reach, and accepting that I don't know if I take action where it's going to go. I feel like the birds are laughing at me. That's cool. This is a little weird, filming myself in a park in the rain by myself. But I guess that's how this journey is going to be. YouTube. What is the magic recipe to the algorithm? Not sure yet.
There is another part that is how artists make income. And obviously, I'm not making these strange, very unique YouTube videos to like suddenly go viral and make a big fat YouTube income. That's not the point. But the point is to connect with other people, because there's all this work around what these videos are conveying. And that is more important than ever, because the same thing that's happening with algorithms here is happening with the job market, with the freelance job market. Everything is online, and everything online is kept by algorithms and demands that are really difficult to meet for any average individual without putting more than some of us have to give in the first place into it. And so I'm finding, that same struggle if I'm looking for freelance work outside of my creative work, if I'm looking for jobs, if I'm looking for small contracts. It's the same structure and formula everywhere. And I think that adds to this feeling of that tension. I feel less motivated to put everything I have when my energy is limited and my faculties can be vulnerable. And so everything is asking of us something that feels so impossible. Be yourself. Don't you dare be too you. Don't be unlikable. Don't be unattractive in your whatever it is that you're trying to do. And I think that is probably the tension that feels the most achy for me around 38 views on my first YouTube videos with months of work and going across the ocean and all the things that I described. It's not what it seems like it might be that's painful. It's the how am I supposed to survive if all the tools that are available and all the messaging around using those tools isn't what the reality seems to bestow. And I know I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one, because every now and again I come across a piece of work or a YouTube video or a Substack where someone's like, great, I just put in 60 hours and I got 2 followers or whatever. I think that is the real point of this video, to be honest. But I guess you're going to get to know a little more about me anyway. All right, I'm done. That's it. I don't know what else to say. Yeah.
Literally, as soon as I hit record, it's raining. Of course. It's pretty though. Dang, it's really raining.
Do you know who records videos with a scroll? I do. This was not the plan. I just don't have a printer. I'm in Portugal. I have this.